Hello my minions! This is Teacher Sarah and today we are going to discuss solving problems involving exponential equation and inequalities. This video tutorial is based from your learning activity sheets in General Mathematics, Quarter 1, Week 7. So, bring out your learning activity sheets and turn your learner's module to pages 95 to 100. Our learning targets is to solve problems involving exponential functions, equation, and inequalities. Before the lesson, let us have some warm-up questions. I have some questions for you to answer. Question number 1. Which of the following is an exponential equation? What do you think is the answer? Time starts now. The answer is letter A. 6 raised to x plus 3 equals 36 raised to x minus 1. Question number 2. Blank is a function in the form of f of x equals 2 raised to x. A. Exponential equation. B. Exponential function. C. Exponential inequality. D. None of these. What do you think is the answer? Time starts now. Okay, the correct answer is letter A. Exponential function. You already know how to solve exponential function and exponential equation in your previous lesson. Now, it is the time to apply your knowledge in solving some classic problems involving exponential equation and exponential function. Sample problem. Mr. Cruz invested 50,000 pesos in his savings account. If the average interest rate is 4% compounded annually, A. Give an exponential model to the situation. B. How much will be the interest after 5 years? And C. After 15 years. So the solution, let us recall the formula for compound interest, and that is equal to I equals P times quantity 1 plus R raised to T, where I is the interest, P is the principal, R is the rate, and T is the number of years. Then, we have to answer letter A. So, the formula, you have I equals P times quantity 1 plus R raised to T, where P is 50,000 pesos multiplied by 1 plus the rate of interest, which is converted into decimal. 4% is equal to 0.04, then raised to T. So I equals 50,000 pesos multiplied by 1.04 raised to T. So the model to find the interest rate after 10 years is I equals 50,000 pesos multiplied by 1.04 raised to T. And to find the interest after 5 and 15 years, substitute 5 and 15 to T respectively. For 5 years, using the model formula to find the compound interest, I equals 50,000 pesos multiplied by 1.04 raised to T. And then, you replace T by 5 years. I equals 50,000 pesos multiplied by 1.04 raised to 5. Therefore, the interest for 5 years is equal equal to 60,832.65 pesos. And for 15 years, use same formula, but you replace T by 15 years. So I is equal to 90,047.18. So if you try to use the calculator to verify if your answer is correct, you just press 1.04, then you press the key y raised to x or the inverted V symbol in the calculator. Then the number of years multiplied by 50,000 pesos, then the equality sign. The answer is 90,047.18 pesos. Problem number 2. At the time T, 500 unknown virus triples every 10 days. A. Give an exponential model for this situation. How many virus are there after 50 days? After 75 days. At T equals 0, y equals 500 times 3 raised to the 0. At T equals 10, y equals 500 times 3 raised to the first power. At T equals 20, y equals 500 times 3 raised to the second power. At T equals 30, y equals 500 times 3 raised to the third power. At T equals T, y equals 500 times 3 raised to T over 10. So this is the exponential model for this situation for the population of viruses. The model to represent the situation is y equals 500 times 3 raised to T over 10, where T is the number of days. For 50 days, y equals 500 times 3 raised to T over 10. So you replace 50 to T, so equals 500 times 3 raised to 50 over 10. Then you simplify 50 over 10 equals 500 times 3 raised to 5. Therefore, the number of viruses for 50 days is 121,500 viruses. And for 75 days, use the same model to represent the situation. So y equals 500 times 3 raised to 75 over 10. Then you simplify 75 over 10 equals 500 times 3 raised to 7.5. Then y is equal to 1,893,997.558 viruses for 75 days. Number 3 problem. The half-life of a substance is 300 years. If the initial amount was 500 grams, A. Create a model to represent the situation. How many grams are there after 900 years and 1,300 years? So at T equals 0, y equals 500 multiplied by 1/2 raised to 0. At T equals 300, y equals 500 times 1/2 raised to the first power. At T equals 600, y equals 500 times 1/2 raised to the second power. At T equals T, y equals 500 times 1/2 raised to T over 300. So the model to represent the problem is y equals 500 times 1/2 raised to T over 300, where T is the number of years. For 900 years, using the model in the given situation, y equals 500 times 1/2 raised to T over 300. Then, you replace t by 900, so equals 500 times 1/2 raised to 900 over 300, so equals 500 times 1/2 raised to the third power. Then when you simplify, y becomes 62.5 grams. And for 1,300 years, same model in the given situation, y equals 500 times 1/2 raised to t over 300. So y equals 500 times 1/2. You replace t by 1,300 divided by 300. Y equals 500 times 1/2 raised to 4.33. Therefore, y equals 24.860 grams. The city of Cabanatuan has a population of 303,000. If the population doubles every 10 years, create a model to represent the situation. What is the population after 50 years? So in the given problem, it is mentioned that the population of the city of Cabanatuan is 303,000. So if the population doubles every 10 years, so you ask to find the population after 50 years. So let t equals 0, y equals 303,000 times 2 raised to 0, at t equals 10, y equals 303,000 times 2 raised to the first power, at t equals 20, y equals 303,000 times 2 to the second power, and at t equals t, y equals 303,000 times 2 raised to n over 10. The model to represent the situation is y equals 303,000 times 2 raised to t over 10, where t is the number of years. So for 5 years, to find the population of the city of Cabanatuan using that model, y equals 303,000 times 2 raised to t over 10. Then you replace t by 50 equals 303,000 times 2 raised to 50 over 10. Then simplify, y equals 303,000 times 2 raised to 5. Then to simplify, the population of the city of Cabanatuan for 50 years is equal to 9,696,000. Okay, number 5 problem. At time t equals 0, 960 grams of isotopes with a half-life of 20 hours is present. How much time will be elapsed when only 15 grams remains? The model to represent the situation is y equals 960 times 1/2 raised to t over 20, where t is the number of hours. To find t, let us substitute y equals 15. So 15 equals 960 times 1/2 raised to t over 20. So 1/2 raised to t over 20 is equal to 15 over 960. So 1/2 raised to t over 20 is equal to 1 over 64. When you simplify 15 over 960, that is equivalent to 1 over 64. So 1/2 raised to t over 20 equals 1/2 raised to 6. So you make their bases the same. So if they are both same bases from 1-to-1 property of exponential function, you equate that t over 20 is equal to 6. You equate that their exponents are equal. So solve for T, therefore T equals 120 hours. Another problem. The half-life of a certain radioactive substances is 1,690 years. If 20 grams of substances is present now, how much will be present in 40 years? So y equals 20 times 1/2 raised to t over 1,690, where t is the number of years. So y is equal to 20 times 1/2 raised to 40 over 1,690. So you replace t by 40 years. So y equals 20 times 1/2. Then when you simplify 40 over 1,690, it's give you an exponent of 0.02367. So y equals 19.67 grams. Number 7. The population of a city is 500,000 and continues to increase at a rate of 4.5% every year. Find the approximate population after 20 years. The model to represent the situation is y equals 500,000 multiplied by quantity 1 plus 0.045 raised to n. So 0.045 is equivalent of the given rate 4.5%. That is the equivalent of percent to decimal. So where n is the number of years. So y equals 500,000 multiplied by quantity 1 plus 0.045 raised to n. Then simplify by 100,000 multiplied by 1.045 raised to n, where n is 20. So you replace it. So y equals 500,000 times 1.045 raised to 20, and that is equal to y equals 1,205,857.012. So you can verify that value using calculator. Again, in using calculator, you just press 1.045, then the key y raised to x, or the inverted v, then 20 times 500,000. It's give you this value. Y equals 1,205,857.012. Or since it is referred to number of person or people, so just round it to the whole number. So y equals 1,205,857. The painting of a national artist was auctioned last 2005 for 2,220,000. The painting was done in 1957, and it was said that the cost of the painting during that time was 50,000 pesos. So A, find the value of K and determine the exponential growth function. B, what will be the value of the painting in 2020? So let the amount equals 50,000 pesos and be the number of years after 1957. The model in the given situation is y equals 50,000 times k raised to n. So let us substitute y equals 2,220,000 and n is equal to 48. That is when you subtract 1957 from 2005. So y is equal to 2,220,000 equate to 50,000 multiplied by k raised to n, where n is equal to 48. So k raised to 48 is equal to 2,220,000 divided by 50,000 when you simplify. So k raised to 48 is equal to 44.4. Therefore, k is equal to or approximately equal to 1.082232. So the exponential growth function is y equals 50,000 times 1.082232 raised to n. So let n equals 63. That is, you subtract 1957 from 2020. So y equals 50,000 times 1.082232 raised to n, where n is equal to 63. You replace it. So y equals 50,000 times 1.082232 raised to 63. Then when you simplify, y is equal to 7,263,624.619. Okay, next let's proceed on how to solve exponential inequality. But before that, let's first state the property of exponential inequality. If b is greater than 1, then the exponential function y equals b raised to x is increasing for all x. This means that b raised to x is less than b raised to y if and only if x less than y. If 0 less than b less than 1, then the exponential function y equals b raised to x is decreasing for all x. This means that b raised to x greater than b raised to y if and only if x is less than y. Example inequality. We have number 1, 9 raised to x plus 1 greater than 3 raised to x minus 3. Write both sides with the same base. So factor 9. We have 3 to the second power. Then their bases are the same. So you apply the one-to-one property of exponential function. You equate that their exponent are equal. So we have 2 times quantity x plus 5 greater than x minus 3. Then you distribute 2 in quantity x plus 1. So this becomes 2x plus 2 greater than x minus 3. Then simplify. So x is greater than negative 5. So the solution set x greater than negative 5, or in interval notation, so we have negative 5 to positive infinity. So negative 5 is not included. That's why it is parenthesis. Example number 2. Given the Exponential inequality, 27 over 64 raised to x minus 3 greater than 3/4 raised to x plus 1. You make their bases the same by identifying factors of 27 and 64. So you find a factor, and that is 3/4 raised to the third power multiplied by x minus 3 greater than 3/4 raised to x plus 1. Then you change the direction of inequality since 3/4 is less than 1. Then you distribute 3 in quantity x minus 3, that becomes 3x minus 9 less than x plus 1. So 2x less than 10. Then you multiply both sides by 1/2 to find x, and x is less than 5. So the solution set is x less than 5, or in interval notation, that is negative infinity to positive 5. So that's the end of our session. So if you have no question regarding the topic we discussed, so you may now turn your sheets to do your task. So for enrichment activity 1, it's give you 1 point. So you read its item carefully, then choose the letter of the correct answer, then write on your answer sheet. Reminder, do not write anything on your answer sheet. Now, use long bond paper to write your answer. And for enrichment activity 2, its item gives you 5 points. You answer the following word problems. Enrichment activity 3, you are going to solve the following exponential inequality. Then you show your solution, then write your answer on your answer sheet. 5 points each. And for wrap-up activity, you answer the question below, then write your answer on your answer sheet. Then it's give you additional 10 points to be added in your score in your enrichment activity. I hope you learned something today. If you have questions or clarifications regarding the topic we discussed, feel free to contact your subject teacher through text, call, or post your questions in your official Facebook group or page. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye! To like and subscribe. Bye!